first time.
So, you are resetting it. Okay, I'll let everyone know. Okay. All right. So, Terry, I got to ask you, man, if you're one of these playoff guys and you're on the outside looking in, what type of scenario are you going to do here tonight at the Milwaukee Mile to put yourself back in contention to win here?
I'm going off pit sequence. I mean, you can have an opportunity where you take 2 tires in this race. There's only one way to find out, though. Pace cars down and in.
Well, I thought they were going to go an extra lap under caution because it's a short track, but it's technically a green flag. The Milwaukee Mile is underway here for the playoffs in the Northwest, and let's see how it all shakes out as Kevin Smith brings the thundering herd of trucks down the back straightaway. Devin West alongside Ryan Bloom right there as well. Patience, Terry, patience. You can't be crazy on the opening lap as they work off 4.
Oh, and to the outside, Devin West almost lost it. The patience was not kicking in for him. As now here comes Dan Lowther. He'll work to the inside, going into turns 1 and 2. The 63 moves up to the 3rd place position. They're still side by side for that 5th place spot as well. You got Stabnow, Brightsman, and Moore all under a blanket on each other. So we take a look at the sights and sounds and the roar of the trucks as they barrel it down now into turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, working their way back to the start-finish line. Charles, I would bring the truck volume down just a hair on VMix. It's definitely overpowering at least Terry's voice on my end. But right now, that's much better. It's Kevin Smith leading them off the corner. Brian Bloom in that 2nd spot. Lowther in 3rd. Everyone all single file as they work into the corner into 3.
Yeah, if you're the 5, you slid back to that 4th place position. You let Lowther get around you. You also allowed Bloom to get around you. Got trapped to that outside lane. Time to bring the patience level back that you talked about a while ago. No need to be overly aggressive. As you watched him there, he worked underneath the 63 of Lowther. Just got back to that 3rd place, got back in a rhythm. This is a rhythm racetrack. You have to hit your marks each and every single time. Obviously, throughout the run, Wesley, the tires are going to change. The fuel's going to change as it burns off. You just have to be calm, cool, and collective and understand that you have to back the corners up every single.
Yeah, definitely just got to be patient. As Terry just mentioned again right now, Kevin Smith is the man that's leading the way. Ryan Bloom in tow, followed by Devin West, Dan Lowther, Jeff Stabnow, currently your top 5 as we're about to put a handful of laps completed here this time by when they work off the corner out of turn number 4, bottom of the racetrack here at the Milwaukee Mile. And it's Kevin Smith. And Terry, I'm trying to check stats here. It's been at least 2 or 3 seasons, maybe longer than that the Northwest has raced at the Milwaukee Mile.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a while. I've sorted through some notes as well leading into this one, and I could not find very many stats about the Northwest Truck Series coming back to the Milwaukee Mile. But it's good to see racing here, no matter what it is. I'm not a big IndyCar fan, but I promise you I watched this one. I watched the Indianapolis 500. I watched the key events that I know are going to be good shows. It's just like with the Camping World Truck Series coming back here. Well, now the Craftsman Truck Series coming back. It's good to see the roots.
Well, they already did it. They did it back in the summer. Yeah.
Well, I know, but I'm saying watching them come back and race here, that was exciting, right? That was perfect for that. And seeing them do it again is just perfect. I mean, you got 18 trucks out here turning. James Vining did not keep it on the racetrack. He's 19th, never started, never completed a lap. But man, you talk about patience. If you're looking up down this field, Devin West just turned the fastest lap of the race not too long ago after slipping back just a little bit. He's perfect.
This is, again, Milwaukee Mile, Wisconsin State Fair Park, located in West Allis, Wisconsin. I've been to this racetrack before. Did some stuff with Racing America a couple of years ago with a Father's Day CRH Super Late Model event. But here's the deal. A 1 mile track. It's actually 1.015 miles. This track, Terry, as I mentioned, the longest running track in the United States. This track was built as dirt in 1903. Okay? 1903 was when this track was built. So it has been around for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, if NASCAR is looking to potentially put a dirt track out there, this should not be the one that you circle on the calendar. I do not know why the Cup Series. I do not know why the Cup Series do not come to this racetrack. This is Gateway on steroids. Gateway's an amazing racetrack as well, but the mile, in my opinion, the fans deserve a Cup race. They have been dedicated to motorsports for decades, and they deserve to have some type of race that comes out here with the brightest stars of NASCAR. IndyCar packs this place out every time they show up.
Oh, yeah.
If IndyCar can do it, why can't we have a NASCAR IndyCar doubleheader? Maybe have, you know, them run it early, NASCAR runs it under the lights. I could think of no better way to cap off a Sunday than watching two great forms of motorsports, you know, come in here and do this.
11 of 175 laps, and right now, let's take a look real quickly as we're the early going. Things kind of settled down. Kaufman creative weather conditions, bottom right of the monitor. There it is. 68 degrees. Air temp on the sim. Clear skies. Wind at 5 miles an hour, going between 4 and 5 miles an hour. Track temp, Terry, at 81. That's probably one of the coolest track temps we've seen in probably about a month of the Northwest playoffs.
Yeah, what was last week? 96 at Michigan. It was not an easy. It was not an easy time for these drivers when it came to barreling into turn one at upwards of 189 to 195 miles an hour in a draft pack at Michigan, but. A change of scenery. I mean, the partly cloudy idea going from a 2-miler to what was this about? Was it about a mile and some change here? Just a different eye-opening event, and with the cooler temperatures, I'm not sure if 100% of these drivers practiced on this type of racing surface. I think they maybe predicted it to be just a little hotter. And that might be why a couple of them are struggling very early in this going, but. For Kevin Smith up here leading the race and Ryan Bloom chasing him there in second, that gap has stayed very consistent. It's, you know, Devin West has kind of closed in a little bit, but Bloom has held it at the half a second to 0.6 of a second mark every time. But look at turn one. I mean, he's gaining on him there.
I'll tell you this much. Obviously, Kevin Smith comfortably in that number one spot, win racing in second. The points leader, Ryan Bloom in tow. Devin West, the third. Lowther in fourth. And by the way, this is a playoff race, as me and Terry emphasized on when we came on the air quickly. This is the penultimate race in the cruising 12, if you will, Terry Radford. And remember, next week we go to Homestead, Miami. Round of 8. You've got to at least win here tonight at Milwaukee Mile, or, of course, desperation at Homestead next Monday.
Well, it's also not a place that you want to go into and put yourself in a bad predicament. It's not a place that you want to go to at Homestead that you're like, I need a win. You want to go in there and go, I need a top 10. You want to pull the Jimmy Johnson of the early, 2010s. Where you're like, I just need to go in and finish 13th or better, and I'm locked in. I can go to the next round. And think about what's coming up, Wesley. I don't know if you've thought about this potentially. We're inching closer and closer to the season finale of this one. And 1 year ago, I think we were somewhere special with each other and did something super cool at one point in time. I don't know if we can recreate that memory or not.
Well, the only problem is the season will end. The season will end before Florence's South Carolina 400.
Oh.
That's the only problem is Dan Lowther. Boy, oh boy. Did he just get bonsai'd like a boomerang through the pit lane, Terry?
He got loose or something right there. We'll have to see. But, yeah, he was by his lonesome. And he's going to catch the throttle there. And the throttle's not going to like him.
Oh, he hit the tail end of the pit lane. There. Oh, wow. Yeah, the water barrels did not deploy though, Terry Radford.
That they didn't. We didn't have a Kurt Busch moment at Homestead with the water barrel, but look at this battle going on right here. I mean, we're right here with Dan West Jr. currently behind Jeff and right in front of Sean Brightsman in that 6th place position. Jeff slid up the racetrack just a little bit. That's going to allow Dan West to try to trail him down the front straightaway. But look at how deep Sean Brightsman drove that thing into turn 1. That was the deepest in 21 laps we've completed that anybody has driven it in the corner and been able to make it stick and not smack the wall off exit.
Just as we mentioned, about 20 laps into this race here now. By the way, Milwaukee Mile, 1.1 or 1.015 miles track, Terry, you asked earlier. It is 4 turns. The turns are banked equally at 9 1/4, 9.25 degrees, 9.25 degrees. Straightaways are 2.5 degrees. It's primarily could be called a flat track, if you will, Terry, but listen, there's some banking there. 10 degrees from 2 degrees is a big difference.
It doesn't seem like a big difference, but it is. I raced it on the sim yesterday, and you could feel it. You could understand setup-wise when you attempt to make your way into the corner and then work your way off the exit of the corner. You can definitely notice when you go to pick up the throttle, if you pick it up a tenth too soon, you're in for a bad day. You're going to lose it off the exit of the corner, as Jeff Stabnow almost figured out there off the exit of 4. That's going to allow Dan West Jr. to look to the inside in turns 1 and 2. He'll make that pass happen pretty easily, as Stabnow starting to slide back just a little bit. He had a leg up on him, got to the 5th place position. Now he'll go back to where he qualified in 6th.
Yeah, these are teammates right there. As you mentioned, Terry, it's West. He's in 5th now. West, Stabnow, Brightsman. And that's 5th, 6th, and 7th for Team LSRTV. What momentum they got, Terry, at Michigan last week, man. It was the LSRTV affair. Top 4, Team LSRTV trucks. 6 drivers in the top 10 for Team LSRTV.
Iron sharpens iron. That's really the biggest key to that one, is when you have a lot of good drivers on one particular race team, you're able to practice with the best. You know, they say it all the time on iRacing, Ric Flair says it, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Well, it just so happens that the man is in your stable, and that's the man leading the race.
That's right.
Well, you get to race with Kevin Smith, who has won poles, who's won races, who has done everything right so far this season. You get to practice with him every Thursday, Sunday, Monday. Like, you're getting to get the notes. You're sitting in a room with him. You know what he's going to do. It's like the right hand and the left hand knows what each other's doing. That's the way right now, that 00. But quick point on the 5. He was super, super, super fast in that early run. He has fallen off to the tune of a 1.5 seconds off of the race lead, and he's fallen off about 1.2 seconds off of Ryan Bloom. The lap times are just not there. He is consistently, Wesley Outland, 1/10 of a second or more off of the speed of the 00 in that 25.
We're at the oldest operating motor speedway in the world, and it's on the world of iRacing. It is the Milwaukee Mile. Terry Radford, I'm Wesley Outland. Charles Wooten is in the production chair, and we are closing in on 30 laps into this event for 175 miles, 175 laps. Penultimate race in the round of 12 for the playoffs. And Kevin Smith again leading the way. Terry, same old song and dance for Win Racing.
Yeah, it never goes away, right? You kind of expect it no matter what racetrack we're on, that he's going to be fast. I personally hope he watches this show. I'll throw a little nugget out there, and I did it last week, and the Catman James Vining called me out on Twitter and said, hey, you mentioned on the show, anytime you want to practice with us, come on out and get it done. Had some unforeseen issues that did not allow me to do it. Some things that I'll talk to you, Wesley Outland, about probably tomorrow, and kind of pick your brain on it as a human being to another human being. But
okay.
if Kevin Smith ever listens to this show, I want to pick his brain about what he does different to these truck setups than anybody else does. Because he has to have something. Whether it's a ride height issue, how he makes the truck float. I don't know if we can go on board. I don't really ask all the time if we can go in certain car camera angles here. Yeah.
So
you hear it here. Like, you hear it here. Very light on the throttle. Very light on the brake. Just lets it roll, floats it off the exit. There's no extra movement in that wheel, Wesley. And that's what I want to figure out. Because you see him. He's very quick, barely gets the brake, gets that nose pointed down to the inside, and just works it.
Terry, he might tell you, doesn't you?
Well, listen.
N-O-Y-B.
I would be more than happy with Kevin Smith because we're closely around the same I rating. In exchange, if he races any of the open races this week at Talladega, and this goes for any of the Northwest drivers, if they find themselves in a lobby with me at Talladega, get on the bumper. Either if it's in the B car or the trucks, I'm there, I'm with it.
The Milwaukee Mile continues on here. And you know what? That'll be interesting. We'll have to ask him that question. He might win the race, Terry, and you can call him out on the air.
Well, they don't want to give their secrets to everybody.
No, I was about to say Terry can't do that because Terry goes to bed after the checkered flag falls. That's in his contract.
That's in my contract. Well, I also, unbeknownst to when I woke up this morning, I thought I was going to get to come home, take an old man nap, get up, call 3 races in a row, and that I would be good to go to bed at 1. 13 hours later, I'm still at work, still called 3 races in a row, and then I got to work 13 hours in the morning. So my 5 hours of sleep that I will get will be great.
What, are you working overtime or something?
I am salary. There is no overtime.
That's your
I'm
problem.
the boss.
I got you. So you're the head honcho man of the oil change world now.
Well, I make it frees up my stuff to go do other stuff. Tearing motors apart, which is what I was doing last year before I decided to quit and move on. To try to chase this dream, which me and you talked about it last year about me, coming to Florence, and I made the decision then that I need to quit tearing motors and, do something that's going to let me be open and free. And hey, take 5 oil change. It pays. It takes a good little chunk of pay in there.
Gotcha. Well, can we say, I know you're looking forward to this Saturday. I'll be in Kentucky and Virginia with Flow Racing, but I know you're looking forward to being on the call at North Wilkesboro Speedway, something I've done before in my career, and I know you're looking forward to the race on Saturday afternoon.
We're live, right?
We are, yeah. We're live.
I'm super, super, super excited to be on the show on Saturday.
There you go.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith is still the leader, and by the way, he's closing in on lap traffic up ahead. Paulison as well as Ottenbacher. Ray Fournier, Tyler King out of the race. Terry, that's unusual for the defending Truck Series champion of the Northwest. Tyler King not making the start in 21.
Yeah, that uncharacteristic. He was 27 laps down at the moment, and he's out of the race. Maybe
he's out of the
maybe
playoffs,
maybe
too.
he maybe he loaded in the wrong setup.
Yeah. I don't even think he even made the postseason, if you will. Defending champion. So Kevin Smith still the man leading. He's running down Paulison now. And we're about to be 125 laps remaining as we're approaching quickly, Terry, lap number 50, man. Kevin Smith is just running away with it.
Hey, and that he's done this all season long. Kevin Smith has just been on rails. I'm just more shocked at the pace, or I'm not going to say the lack thereof because he's still very fast. I thought Ryan Bloom coming into this race, given his not short track success, but given the speed that he has found each and every week in that truck, that he's not nipping right on the Smith. That's also why I want to know what Kevin's doing, Wesley, because he has figured something out, either in the rear end, maybe it's just the front end's able to plant better. He's got a little bit more downforce. He has figured something out in that truck, because you could go to Michigan and you're fast, then you come to Milwaukee and you're fast. He's got the golden horseshoe. And he's riding it.
The roar of the trucks down the front straightaway. There's Ryan Bloom, by the way, second on the track. And the man that's leading the point standings got a 5-point lead over Dan West Jr. By the way, Dan West Jr. in the top 5 right now. Kind of a, if you will, Terry, quiet night for the 55, sitting in the top 5, and two-time series champion also in the trucks, for sure.
Yeah, and up 9 spots to that 5th place position, as lap times have not necessarily been indicative of how he's run. I mean, in this latter part of the race, he has definitely picked up some speed. He's one of the faster trucks on the speedway. He's actually faster than second. He's faster than fourth. He's almost tied for faster than third. So it's going to be a good night, quiet night. But I think he's going to need the pit strategy to work his way up there.
Closing in on 45, now make it 46 laps. Kevin Smith, Ryan Bloom, Devin West, Dennis Moore, and Dan West Jr., as we mentioned, the top 5. We're at the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds of radio identification. This is iRacing on CRN, the Community Radio Network.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Welcome back to coverage of the Northwest Truck Series playoffs, Season 10. I'm Wesley Outland. Terry Radford is alongside. And we've got Ryan Bloom right there, watching him in the second position. It's been all Kevin Smith, Terry, as we're approaching 1.25 remaining and lap 50 on the board at the Milwaukee Mile.
Yeah, but you look. I'll look a little further back here because the story in the top three, not really a story. And it's like Charles read my mind. Toby Ritter sitting here in that 8th place position. Once again, speed not as indicative of how he should necessarily be running. He's faster than multiple drivers in front of him. Doesn't have the short run burst speed. He's about 3 to 4 tenths of a seconds off what a Devin West or the top 3 have run, which was 29.7s, and they did that all in the early portions of that race. So to have the speed that he had, consistent speed. He ran a 30.106 on lap 2 of this race. He's still running 31.0, so he's only truly fallen off about a second or so. So not a whole lot of turnover here, so a very consistent truck. And if we get on an alternate pit strategy, I would not be shocked to see old Clifford go up here and maybe stay out and just show that he has that flat line speed.
And I got a feeling we're going to see pit stops probably within the next, what do you think, Terry? 20 laps maybe? They could at least go, they could probably go 65 to 75 laps on a fuel run, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to attempt to split this into a half. I want to see if I can split it, maybe pit twice, but the caution flag would have to wave. And you called it, Stephen Paulison comes down pit road, but I don't know if this was a scheduled stop for him at all. I could not have imagined that we're going to split this into thirds.
Right.
If we are, I'm with it. I'm all for it, but we'll start to find out once a driver, say in the top 5, top 6, start to come down to pit lane, because it's 6 seconds separates your top 5, and then you got to go all the way back 11 more seconds to Jeff Stabnow. We'll see if that works it.
Right now, Kevin Smith with about a 2-second lead over teammate Ryan Bloom. As we mentioned, the man that's number 1 in the point standings. You got Devin West right there in 3rd, single file, Dennis Moore. And in doing so also, Terry, they are flying through this field on this 1-mile track. There are only 12 trucks on the lead lap. And Kevin Smith is quickly approaching them.
There is a massive gap between Kevin Smith and the field. And it is a noticeable gap. You can see it in laps. I mean, he is now he's about 8/100ths faster than second, and he's in lap traffic. Like, he's in the traffic, and he's still one of the fastest trucks on the racetrack. We're going to need a caution flag to put somebody near him. Maybe Ryan Bloom just needs a track bar adjustment, just needs to get the back end from swaying out. You know, maybe he'll make an air pressure adjustment to try to catch up and make some changes. But when we were in green flag laps like this and then we go into the pit lane under the green flag conditions, it's very hard to make these adjustments. You just don't want to add time to your pit stop adjustment when you know he's just going to add more to his lead.
And well, my question is this, Terry. Could we possibly see this race go flag to flag? I don't want to jinx it here with what I just said.
We did it over.
But you're saying we need a caution. We need a Virginia 811 caution flag.
I mean, you got to think, we did it last season at Dover, which is one of the hardest racetracks, and we did it in not just one, not just two, but all 3 series went caution-free last season at the Monster Mile.
At Dover.
Of all racetracks.
Yeah.
And if you can do it at Dover, you can do it at Milwaukee. This track spreads. I mean, you have a close battle right here with Breitzman and Toby Ritter. So, not saying that this would bring out a caution. These are 2 very respectable drivers and very clean drivers. But hey, you get lap traffic mixed in there as well, you have an opportunity for disaster.
Well, right now, as massive cloud cover begins to settle in over the Milwaukee Mile, we have Kevin Smith, the leader. Ryan Bloom in second. There's Clifford. Toby Ritter, solid top 10. Right now, right behind Sean Brightsman. Frank Harris, Terry, got a good run going for him. He's in the top 10 tonight.
Yeah, well, Frank Harris doing a good job. Just sitting there riding to that 9th place position, and good speed out of that. Good speed out of that number 11 as well. I mean, his short run speed was not there. The long run speed starting to find just a little bit. He's right where his pace has kind of taken him. I don't know if he's burnt up one of the tires or not, but he has fallen off a substantial bit. It was about 1.2 seconds that time. He's fallen off his fastest time. And granted, the tires are worn down, but the fall off is just a little bit more evident back there. But that one is why we have Kevin Smith, your race leader, coming down pit lane, and we might potentially be breaking this into thirds.
I was going to say, what did I say? Between 60 to 65 laps. And here you go, Terry. They're coming down pit road. And a lot of them are following. Look at this. Smith is in. Stab now will follow him. So will also Dan West Jr. Monkey see, monkey do, I guess, Terry, right?
Yeah, and if I'm Dennis Moore or Ryan Bloom, I know this is going to sound wild. Stay out. Stay out. What chances are you playing? You're not just don't just follow Kevin, right? Make a chance out of it. If I'm Frank Harris, EJ Tedrick, stay out. Why not? If you stay out and you have an opportunity to net gain yourself, and as I say that, they come down pit lane. Somebody has to stay out and see if they can run it. Somebody has to stay out and see if a caution flag can wave.
Let's say they're not taking your advice, buddy.
Brightsman could be the one. Toby Ritters could be the one as well that takes the advice.
Yeah, he could be the character that could do it. And he's done it before. So basically, Terry, if he stays out, and you said make it a half of the race, obviously. So basically, halfway through the race would be what, 83, 84 laps, I think?
I don't think he can make that on fuel, but I think you should chance it more based off of a caution, right? The fresh tires, the cold tire aspect of it, you just need a single truck spin to get the caution flag to come out here at a 90-degree angle. If the car goes, I mean, you've got a good majority of the field a lap down, 9th on back, trapped 1 lap down currently. Why not? Why not take this chance? You were running, 6th and 7th? You net gained 6 spots because they're all going to pit. I mean, Kevin Smith's going to have to work 9.6 seconds to get to you. Right. He's going to burn his stuff up. And if the caution falls at the right time, and say he gets all the way up to Toby Ritters, by the time he gets to him, he has no tire left. That conservation mode, while he went 60 laps on it, that conservation can't be that great. It would then put them in a spot where they're all going to pit together and they're still going to be able to make it.
Well, as Terry said, this will now put Sean Brightsman to the top spot. Toby Ritters in second. Kevin Smith third. Devin West fourth. Ryan Bloom top 5. Now remember, Kevin Smith pitted. He's already back up to third. Ritters and Brightsman were in that, if you will, 7th, 8th spot now. And they're closing in on more lap traffic. And by the way, Terry, you said it. Jeff Stabnow, 23 seconds back to the leader, Sean Brightsman, and only 8 trucks on the lead lap. That's it.
Yeah, and this has just been an incredible pace by the 00. And obviously with the pit strategy, you know, coming into the seconds, here comes Toby Ritters. He'll pit this time by. Sean Brightsman will stay on that racetrack. We'll see how long he does keep it going for. He's got 6.5 seconds to decide. And if you're going to roll this strategy, Wesley, you don't want Kevin Smith to get to your back bumper, because then you just pissed away a ton of time. Like, if he gets under 4, you just need to pit. Salvage the time, salvage that you're not getting a caution, and try to reverse what you have done damage-wise to your race. Like, you look right here, Ritters is going to fall to 11th, potentially 12th, because of that strategy. He falls in right there in the 11th place position, while he is going to storm past everybody in front of him. He's still given a lap to the race leader.
Believe it or not, coming up on 105 remaining when they come to the line. And quickly halfway approaching also. And you see that strategy that Terry mentioned. And Terry, I like the fact that we're seeing Sean Brightsman get in a line, get in a pack. Whoa, Tedrick, hold on. Oh, that could have been the caution he needed, Terry. Wow. I was going to say, I like him watching him get in a pack and conserve fuel, because he's drafting, and you're saving fuel doing that.
He gets in a decent conga line here, and is just able to coast these corners. I mean, this is a fuel saving type of track. I mean, you put yourself in a total different ballpark here. Gateway's the same thing. I absolutely adore that racetrack because you were able to do so many different things. But look at this for a second. Ritter's just unlapped himself. Here comes B.J. Tedrick to unlap himself as well. Here comes Paulison to unlap him, or Johnson. Here comes Paulison to unlap himself as well. There's a good bit of drivers that are starting to unlap themselves here as Sean Brightsman comes down pit lane.
Just about 10 laps shy from the halfway mark. As we're 10 to halfway, Sean Brightsman will come to pit lane, lap number 72. 4 tires and fuel, and obviously, Terry, this will cycle it back around to Kevin Smith back to the lead again.
Yeah, that's not what the field wanted to see. Look at what Devin West was able to do. Brought it down to 1.2 seconds. And it's actually starting to close down just a tad bit. Lap time-wise, he's about 1/10 of a lap faster. Not sure if Kevin's starting to save, if he's doing anything different than what he was doing before. But yeah, a good bit of good bit of strategy being played out of here.
Well, let's give you the full field rundown as it stands right now for the trucks here at the Milwaukee Mile. As Kevin Smith is still the leader. 100 laps to go, by the way, when they come back to the line. Devin West in second. Ryan Bloom is third. Dennis Moore fourth. Dan West Jr. is in fifth. Jeff Stabnow sixth. Frank Harris seventh. Toby Ritters eighth. Troy Daggett is ninth. And Terry B.J. Tedrick, who gave us a little scare a moment ago on the front straightaway. He's your top 10.
Yeah, Sean Brightsman will be the last driver on the lead lap, sitting in the 11th place position. He would be getting his lap back momentarily. It's showing he is, now he's a lap down. Brett Johnson, Stephen Paulison, Tyler Kim, John Ottenbucker, your top 15. Lowther, and then your 2 that are out and retired from the race, Ray Fournier and Tyler King. Your defending sitting dead last on the field. Wesley, you brought it up. And I would insert the Jaws music, because the race lead is now under a second for the first time since we took the green flag.
And halfway, quickly approaching. So far, it has been a solid green flag run with Kevin Smith in front, Devin West in second. And oh, by the way, here comes more lap traffic led by the man who was really gambling after Kevin Smith pitted. Sean Brightsman now on the verge, Terry, of possibly going a lap down. He's got Titrick, he's got Daggett in front of him. This will put, by the way, now 11 trucks. Oh, there goes Daggett around. No. Troy Daggett spins, caution out. Troy Daggett spins, bottom of turn 4. Saved by the caution is Sean Brightsman. Wow.
Well, if you're Sean Brightsman, you wanted that caution about 5 laps ago.
Yeah, you did. A day late and a dollar short, as they say. And
he just caught the throttle.
99. Brightsman. Wow.
Too much gas. Same thing we saw.
Different.
Same thing we saw from Dan Lowther off the exit of 4. Just caught the throttle too early, and he didn't go on pit road though.
Everybody else is pitting now, though. Here they come. That's Tyler Kim, by the way, that stays behind the pace car. John Annenbacher as well. All right. Terry, obviously this totally changes the strategy of the race, or does it, though?
It's definitely going to make them pit again. I mean, I think they were going to pit again anyhow, but this definitely puts them pitting, because, I mean, they only went – they're not going to go 80 laps on fuel, so they're going to probably go another 60 and then pit.
So, as everything shuffles back out, it is now going to put Dan West Jr. back up to the front. And this is going to let us step away, as we do have a caution. We'll go to commercial break. Thank our partners. We're back with more from the oldest racetrack in the world, the Milwaukee Mile. Still got a long way to go as we approach halfway. We're back in a moment.
Time. It slips through our fingers like sand, flowing endlessly, yet holding immeasurable power within its grasp. Tick by tick, it shapes our lives, marking the moments that define us. For 10 long years, the Lone Star 600 has carved a path of endurance through time, a race unlike any other, where the boundaries of human and machine are pushed to their limits. Over 180 cars, their engines roaring in unison as drivers push the limits of their cars and themselves. For 300 laps each night, they dance with danger, locked in a race against time itself. The Lone Star 600 is a testament to human resilience. It's not just a race, it's a test of wills, a fight against the unforgiving clock. Join us as we celebrate a decade of unparalleled speed and unyielding determination. The 10th annual Lone Star 600, a race that defies time and etches itself into racing history.
Some of these guys, I've been racing with them a long time, and they are good. They are real good. Winning a race like this is a big deal.
We're back on our way. And the restart as we are exactly on halfway. Next time by, Terry. And again, one caution. By the way, real quickly, let's take a look at the Virginia 811 race summary, caution summary, as we are back on the restart. There it is, bottom left. One caution, 4 caution laps, and 3 lead changes. And a lot of those lead changes, Terry, happened during pit stops under green. And look who's back out in front, man. Kevin Smith is dominating here at Milwaukee Mile.
Yeah, and he's already. I think we need to circle that 5 on this short run. I'm not sure if long run wise he's going to keep up with Kevin here. But this short run burst that Devin West has is unmatched, and he just shows it. He goes right back to the top of the charts with his lap time with the 29.628. The flatline speed that's in that thing, long run speed, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but it sucks. But short run speed is absolutely phenomenal. If he can find a way to get around that 00 of Kevin Smith, or if we find ourselves in a short 10-15 lap burst, and I say that Kevin Smith drops to 29.554 down there. He might have heard me talking trash, saying that his short run wasn't good, but that long run speed that the 00 has, if he finds the balance of both, he's perfect. If the 5 could just find just a tenth more in that machine, Devin West is going to be somebody to be reckoned with.
And what's that song, The Best of Both Worlds? He's looking for the best of both worlds on the racetrack and trying to make the long run and the short run be in his, obviously, playbook. Terry Radford's in the house. I'm Wesley out with its Northwest Season 10 playoffs. Charles Wooten is joining us as always. Charles, we'll chime in from you real quickly. You got any updates from the pits?
No. Sorry. We've been trying to figure out what we're going to do with the streaming gear here, and we unfortunately have not made our way down pit road yet. I do know from talking to drivers, they went through multiple setups in this race, somewhere upwards of 10, 12 different setups to pick from, and they were asking, is the track hotter, colder, faster, slower? So it's a different track than they had during practice.
Cool. Definitely. So Terry, why is that? Why is it a different racetrack now in race mode than what we had in the practice session? Is it because you've got 20 screaming trucks alongside you at one time?
It depends on the dynamic weather of the league. When you set this, you could set it for the perfect time and date of what the time and date would be in the iRacing session. But the dynamic weather portion of it, if you have set weather conditions, it makes it a little bit easier for league drivers to understand, hey, we're racing on a track that's 32 degrees, and it's going to be partly cloudy, it's going to be really cold. You'll set that truck up for a little bit more downforce because you're already going to have the speed. Okay. You just got to get the handling correct. But if they practice on 32-degree track temp, and then they get into the race and it's 100-degree track temp, their setup's worthless. It's as worthless as a stale ding dong. If they still make those out there from the hosted place. I'm hungry and I'm staring
yes.
at
dinner. I'm having dinner after we finish working as well. Yes.
Okay, so they do make ding dongs. They just call them bouncers now. It's the glazed chocolate ding dong mini cakes.
Yeah. We're talking about ding dongs on the air.
But, well, the hosted ones. The actual ding dongs, the mini cakes.
Yeah. The chocolate cream filled ones. Yes.
Or the white cream filled ones.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. We could.
Yeah, I don't know what they officially call them. I'll look at the package. No, they're Twinkies. Yeah, so they're Twinkies. There's it's the glazed Twinkies mini cakes. But the sad part about it is it's with natural flavors. I never understood that, and they also don't put like the nutritional guides on it. So how am I supposed to know how many calories I'm eating when I eat this? And it all goes to my waist anyhow, but I still just want to know.
Somebody get Terry some ding dongs and Twinkies. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, a chunky monkey ice cream. Is that what you said? I never knew that Ben & Jerry's had a chunky monkey ice cream.
They do, and it's not good. It's not good at all.
Good.
I am an ice cream connoisseur. I'm on a Turkey Hill kick now. Is the brand that I have fully invested my time in. It's pretty good.
Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey Ice Cream includes banana ice cream with fudge chunks and walnuts. And somehow amongst all of that, we come up with the name Chunky Monkey. I digress. Let's go back to the races. Lap 100. So, Terry, get you a midnight snack, brother. It is after midnight in Georgia.
I'm thinking about it. The Twinkies, may they rest in peace. The actual Twinkies, they will forever live on in the hosted family. With this, doesn't even look appetizing, but I'm gonna eat it anyhow because I'm fat, and I'm hungry. Like Thursdays at work didn't appease me today, and I got to do 13 more. So my whole well fed. So thank you. Come sponsor, the Northwest Truck Series for the glazed Twinkies.
Okay. Well, let's pick up the action again as we're approaching triple digits on the scoreboard. That's a Twinkie with 2 ding dongs, by the way. It's Sean Brightsman, Toby Ritters, and Jeff Stabnow. Team LSRTV, Team Win Racing in that sandwich there, working down the front straightaway. And obviously, it is still Kevin Smith. Terry, we've seen this week in, week out. 1 week, it's Team LSRTV. The next week, it's Win Racing. 1 week, it's Team LSRTV. Look at what they did at Michigan when you came back on board with us last week. And, of course, 6 drivers in the top 10, 4 drivers in the top 5. That's just – and then tonight, look at Win Racing right there with 3 in the top 5 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I go back to my initial comment I made earlier. Iron sharpens iron. If you are able to be in a field or in a practice session with the best drivers in the Northwest, you have an opportunity to get better. You don't get better going out here and kicking people's asses. You don't get better going, 150 miles an hour where everybody else is going 130. You get better by coming out here every single week and competing against drivers that can kick you in the teeth and go, all right, you had enough, you want to learn? And then when they finally decide to learn, it's like, wow, okay, your steering input was different than mine. Okay, your driving line was different. Your braking was different. Just how you handle it. Right. I raced in the Precision Racing League for 1 season for their Xfinity Series. And first 3 weeks, kicked in the mouth. Last 3 weeks, I was competitive because I took the time to listen and pay attention. And I'm not saying anything like this, but I mean it like every driver on each individual team with their teammates are just like, man, you have an opportunity to learn from somebody that could make you better. And this league right here is just a family, and they all learn from each other. Not one specific team goes, nope, I'm not telling you nothing. I won't help you at all. They all work together as a massive family. It's like a big in-house team, but a rivalry on the racetrack of sorts.
Watching all of this going on, as Terry mentioned, sometimes you got to get knocked down to get right back up again. Sounds like lyrics to a song.
Well, yeah, it's something like I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. Such a good song.
One of my favorite songs as a kid growing up. Yes, one of my school jams, if you will. Chumbawamba was the band. The name of the song was called Tub Thumping. Tub Thumping was never mentioned in the lyrics of that song, but it's called Tub Thump. It's called Tub Thumping. Charles, Tub Thumping.
You got to remember, he's from Texas.
Hot Texas at that. Boy, was that cup race a hot one and a wild one last night in the playoffs for sure. Boy, it shook up the playoff standings, no doubt. Hot one. I think it was 100 and something degrees in Texas where Charles was at yesterday.
Sounds like a good day to barbecue.
Yeah. Barbecued lizards. All right. 105 laps completed. And the man that is up in front still, Kevin Smith, Devin West, Ryan Bloom, Dan West Jr., Dennis Moore, your top five. And things are settling down, Terry, but obviously,
Well, you spoke too soon, Wesley Outland.
Yeah.
Well,
there's your caution, John Onenbacher. Hell, there's your caution.
As he literally said as we were passing by it, Wesley, I don't see anything. Caution.
I don't see anything.
Big green truck. Okay.
So, another caution. This is our second one of the race. Second one of the race, Terry. What happened here? John Onenbacher just abrasive the track, used up tires. What's going on?
Do you want to hear my opinion?
Yeah, what's your opinion? Well, up.
That, I think his arm was itching.
Are you saying that there was a Clint Boyer move right here, you think?
I mean,
listen, I'll go out and say it. Intentional caution? You think he brought out an intentional caution flag?
Not trying to piss anybody off, but I mean, that looked pretty intentional. Hate me, I don't care. Yell at me in the chat, I don't care. That looked intentional.
Wow.
It did. I mean, I'll ask the chat. We watched the replay. Everybody else think that looked intentional, or am I the only one on an island over here that thought for sure watching that it wasn't intentional? And if it was intentional, I would trust in my heart that that the admins over here would take a look at that and would be very swift on it. Because I mean that.
Well,
It opens us up now, Wesley, where they all come down pit lane. The strategy of the race is over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody will be coming down pit road whenever pit road opens, which is right about, not yet. Not yet. Everybody just pitted, and I guess we were looking at the replay and missed it. My apologies. The only guy that didn't pit was Ryan Bloom, Terry. 96 laps was the last time Ryan Bloom pitted. Dennis Moore did not pit. But if you're Kevin Smith and Moore on back, Tedrick didn't pit. But any of these other guys, yeah, Smith pitted. Stabnow pitted. That's about it.
Well,
Smith,
yeah, we did. We were looking at
Ritters.
the replay.
Yeah, Brightman, West, Harris, Devin West, and Brett Johnson. Those are the only guys that really pitted. That's it. I find that a different strategy that still has a strategy within a strategy. As Terry mentioned, well, you know, what's your take? Back to green here at the Milwaukee Mile.
It's not smart, but I understand.
Well, we're back to it again here. And bunch the trucks back up with each other again. Russ Ludwig says that John Annenbacher was racing to stay ahead of the leader, the 00. I'll go with that. Won't you, Terry? I mean, you know.
No.
Okay.
No.
We'll agree to
I'm
disagree.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, look out!
Oh,
yeah,
I'm not.
traffic there.
I'm not buying that.
One of the Paulson trucks jumping out of line. And gets back in tow. Oh, no, Dan West Jr. He's around. Spinning, turn 4.
That's a caution.
Caution out. Dan West Jr. around in 55. And this will bring out our third caution of the race. All right, Terry, what happened here?
Let's take a look at here.
Stabnow in front of him. Oh, boy. Oh,
He might have just caught the throttle.
Oh.
Yeah, he caught the curb, caught the throttle.
Yeah. It was either to spin or slam into the wall. Basically his only choice. Wow. Dropped off the apron there and went around.
That happens here. You're right down there on the bottom. Especially when you got your teammate to the outside. You think you're going to go up into them. You make that sacrifice. And you don't want to make the sacrifice at the risk of your teammate. And that was a smart move there. Send that thing around for Dan West Jr.
All right. Ryan Bloom and Kevin Smith coming down off of turn 4. Any of these other guys that ain't pitted, you think they're going to pit now?
I don't think so. I mean, they
Yes.
that was a fake there for Dennis Moore. No, if you're Ryan Bloom, if you're Ryan Bloom right there, if you're BJ Tedrick, no sense at all to come down pit lane because you've already made your bed. Sleep in it. Stay in that bed and hope that you get the cautions breed cautions mentality of this race. If we go green, you are up the creek without a paddle because you're pitting, you're going 2 laps down. You need it to go maybe 5 to 10 laps under the green flag, and then a caution flag needs to wave. If that happens, you put yourself in an instant option.
We saw Ritters and Dennis Moore, psych, coming down to the pit lane, but they did make the pit stops. And Ryan Bloom and Kevin Smith right back on the front row with each other again. Jeff Stabnow, Sean Breitzman right there at row 2. Then you got Devin West. Terry, is it looking like it's going to come down to Team LSRTV and Win Racing for this championship? Like, is all this Is all the stars aligning for these two teams to just decide who's going to duke it out and survive at the end when we get to, I think it's Vegas.
I think the championship goes through the 0-0. I think that's your only bet. The championship goes through him. They're gonna have to beat him, and that's the only. I think that's the only driver I circle and go, yep, that has to go through him.
Well, believe it or not, the race for the playoffs in the round of 12 for the fixed series will be determined. One more race of the regular season. That's this Wednesday night. Talladega. Jason Rockefeller, myself will be on the call. iRacing on LSRTV and CRN Wednesday night. Talladega. Terry, we always know how that turns out. The wild card. And by the way, Talladega is this Sunday for the Cup Series.
I love Talladega week on iRacing.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Talladega decided the final race of the regular season for the Northwest Trucks. The same will be decided for the Northwest CLICKIT RV fixed Xfinity V cars. And we'll settle in for a restart here. It'll be lap number 117. When they come to the green flag. Terry Radford, I'm Wesley Outland. Ready to bring you back to the green here at the world's oldest running racetrack, the Milwaukee Mile. Craftsman Truck Series returned for the first time in decades this summer. Announced today, IndyCar will return to the Milwaukee Mile in 2024, replacing the Texas State. We got problems in the back. Oh, quickly, as soon as we went to green, we quickly go to yellow. Toby Ritters is one of them that spun. Another yellow flag on a restart. Gone wrong, Terry. Wow.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that restart. We'll be not gonna say somebody missed a shift, but Ryan Bloom went right there, and yep, somebody missed something. That checkup was big.
Wow.
And into the wall goes Ritters. Not a hard hit. Not a hard hit at all.
Dan
they
West
would get the thing
Jr.
fired up.
Yeah, Dan West Jr. checked up, and then that was in front of him was Brett Johnson, his teammate. And I think we're going to go on board here with Brett Johnson. Yeah, here you go. This is the culprit. Look. Oh, just that little slip there, Terry.
That's all it takes. A small slip of getting on the throttle not soon enough, getting through the gears. Yep. It checks everybody else up because they're ready to go.
Audenbacher into the back of Ritters. Ritters goes around. Caution out. And here comes more trucks on the pit lane. Dan West Jr., BJ Tidrick. Who's going to be in Milwaukee Mile Victory Lane as this race is approaching the home stretch, obviously. There's the Tidrick machine back on the pits. Ryan Bloom, Kevin Smith right now, top two. Jeff Stabnow, Sean Brunson. Terry, Jeff Stabnow. What a solid run tonight for the 24.
Yeah, sneaky. We have not talked about him. Very sneaky. He was sitting 5th, 6th, 7th. That's just kind of how Jeff Stabnow races. Quiet under the radar. And if you're a team owner, if you're a racing league, that's the kind of guy you want in your league. Like that, I said this about a driver earlier, Sean Kalist in RSR competition. Drivers like Jeff Stabnow are drivers you want in your league because you do not know. You do not know when they're going to show up big and show out, and that's all you can talk about, or when they're just going to fly under the radar and sneakily sit themselves in the top 3 with about 50 laps to go. And here he sits. I mean, he's sitting pretty with a good opportunity to potentially win this race, setting himself up between Ryan Bloom. I don't like the fact that he's starting behind Ryan Bloom because that's kind of hard.
Got himself a couple of top 5 finishes. Of course, 2 top 5s at Mossport in Atlanta with the series this year, and 2 fourth place finishes back in May and June at Nashville and the Charlotte Oval. Those are his best finishes. No wins this year. And also, Terry, as we have the lights off on the pace car, he is the number 8 seed. So obviously, want to get a good spot, want to get one up, want to climb the ladder. Jeff Stabnow, number 8 seed. Sean Brightsman, number 7 seed. I know they're teammates, but you want to make it to the round of 8. You want to do what you got to do to win. You get that W, you know you advance to the final, to the next round. All right. Ready for the pace car to drop onto the pit lane, and we will be looking for a green flag as we're approaching 50 plus laps remaining, back underway. Much better restart this go around for the drivers as they work back into turn number 1 and 2. And again, Ryan Bloom. Here comes Kevin Smith. Back on the outside. And Stabnow right there to third. Brightsman, Devin West will follow. Terry, they work to 3.
Yeah, if you're Stabnow on that initial one, look at Devin West. Bloom's going to slide up the racetrack there, and no surprise. Yeah, no surprise to see Bloom go wide there. The tires are hot. He's for a while. He needed this race to go green. He needs it to go green for a good chunk of laps, and then see a caution flag.
Trouble!
And
Brett
we
Johnson
might have
around.
it here. There it is.
Brett Johnson around, number 7. Another caution. You were saying, Terry, under yellow flag number 5, by the way.
So this is an opportunity, if you're Bloom, to pit.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow, there's Tidrick. Uh-oh. So, oh man. Well, Terry, 50 laps to go. I don't see anybody in the top 10 coming down the pit lane. Obviously, track position is absolutely more important than tires and fuel right now in the home stretch of this race.
It's a shock to me. I mean, lap time wise, the fall off was substantial. I just would have imagined that we would have seen the drivers come down pit lane and, get some type of just some type of change in the truck. Like maybe you're feeling something different. But nobody is coming down the pit lane.
Right. Boy, oh boy. Ready to show them the 1 to go indication, I think, this time by, and we'll go back for green. We're under 50 laps to go. Hey, real quickly, let's take a look at because now we're getting cautions. Virginia811.com, call before you dig. Caution summary, Terry, and here it is. 5 cautions now, as I mentioned. Got a handful of cautions now. Count them. 5 lead changes. 19 caution laps, and it seems like the last stretch of cautions have been within the last 5 laps or so. We get a caution one after another.
Good segue. If you want to join iRacing, something to wake me up is the favorite part of my job is to promo
Haven't seen
it.
that in a while, have we?
Yeah, if you're watching on your phone, don't worry. You can go watch this on your computer and scan the QR code to find out how you can be a part of the greatest simulation on the planet today. 40% off new members. Hundreds of laser scan tracks, cars, you name it. New things have added in the season 4 update. A new dirt model got put out, which was in perfect time for the finals for the World of Outlaw late model series presented by Butt Kicker, and for the 2023-2024 World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series presented by Thrustmaster. That will kick off November 19th all the way to January 19th. Scan it. Find out more. iRacing.com is your portal to the sim racing world.
Oh,
and I did not have a script for that.
And by the way, SRX coming to iRacing too. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. You know, I've had the privilege to announce a couple of Superstar Racing Experience events, and SRX is going to be on iRacing. Pretty darn cool. I think we're going to have an SRX Racing Series. I hope we do. All right. We're going to settle them in here. Restart time. Be lap number 128 when they come back to the Geico restart zone and get back to green. As here they are back in the box. Space cars in. Milwaukee Mile. Shootout time. And Kevin Smith again on the jump. Here comes Stab down the P2. Clear a path, Terry. Here comes Bloom. Here comes Brightsman. If you want to go to the win, you got to go now. We're in the home stretch.
Yeah, definitely getting there. It'll be 45 laps to go when we cross the start-finish line this time. Oh, Devin West sent that thing in there, and Brightsman almost cleaned his clock. Not like the one they won
we got trouble.
yesterday. Oh, they're wrecking in the back.
Paulus Ritter.
Down pit lane. Oh, not anymore.
Slams into the inside pit entrance barrel where Dan Lowther crashed into it, and Toby Ritter spins inside the pit lane entrance. Caution out for the 6th time. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. My goodness.
We started off so good.
Terry, this started. Would you say that Devin West is the culprit of starting this? Would turned out to be the finish between Ritters and Paulison?
Yeah, you read my mind 100%. It started there with the checkup going into the corner. Devin West missed that corner by a mile and somehow did not wipe out Sean Brightsman in the process. Good truck control. 1,000,000% good truck control on his part, but that checkup turned it into a bad day.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ryan Bloom's going to take advantage of it and come to the pit lane. Maybe he realizes, Terry, that he needs new tires.
Well, I think we also turned enough laps, Wesley, that he has an opportunity now that, you know, they put enough time and enough wear on his tires that he can make it work.
Annenbacher takes the wave around. I believe he got back on the lead lap again, or at least gets one of his laps back. No, yeah. Tough breaks for Toby Ritters, and again, what happened just a moment ago. Devin West. Wait, can we say that, Terry? What a save for Devin West, man, to pull up in front of Sean Brightsman and Brightsman, too, to get on the binders to miss him.
Yeah, it was all around. I mean, I wonder if he just missed his mark and just misjudged the corner. But it was impressive because you would think at a place like this that if you miss that corner, the guy to the outside 9 times out of 10 is going to knock you clean into the wall. and you're both going to end up, done, junked for the day. But they both had the know-withal to go, okay, I'm going to miss this. I don't want to get caught up in it.
So John Ottenbacher is going to get the wave around, and he will be now just one lap down. If a caution was to come out, he'd get the free pass on the restart, unless he is a part of the caution. If he causes the caution, involved in the caution, he does not get a lap back. So here we go. Patience, I think, is going to wear thin here, Terry. Don't you, bud? One to go at the line.
I think patience went out the window after the second caution. I mean, we've seen them in succession. They're bumping against my curfew. I thought we would have been done when we went green until 100 and whatever, and then we just said, what? Let's just throw caution to the wind here. Roll with it as hard as we can.
Yeah, and Terry Radford's new contract with the Northwest, it is obligated that we have to be done by 1 o'clock. And he does not do post-race interviews.
No post-race.
Well, we're going to break one of those. Nolan Boyd in week 2.
Yeah. We had a good run.
Oh, well. We had a good run, yeah. But, hell, you had technical woes that knocked you out quickly before 1 a.m. last Monday night, so you're catching up for lost
We're
time.
here to the end. We're here to the end.
Well, we're ready to bring this to the end. There'll be 40 laps to go when they come back around to the green flag. Lap 133 on the board, now 134. 40 laps to go when they come back around. And again on the restart, Kevin Smith on the rumble strips. Jeff Stabnow. Terry, I know you want to be a playoff racer. But if you're a guy like Jeff Stabnow, you're hungry. You want to win. Drivers want to win. Am I right?
I mean, I want to win every chance possible. I mean, I make it a point. I mean, there's certain races that you want to be unselfish at. Like, obviously, going to Talladega, you were going to be unselfish for your teammates if they're in the playoffs. But when you're at a place like Milwaukee, you're at a place like Gateway, you're at a place like Bristol, you want to win it. You're going to want to push yourself to win it. Look right here. Here comes Devin West. He'll look to the inside of Jeff Stabnow. They make contact behind him. Dennis Moore, BJ Tedrick, Sean Breitzman. They were all there.
Out at Dennis
That's
Moore.
big caution.
Oh, no. And this happened whenever this happened, Terry, when Dennis Moore was alongside Sean Breitzman. Here's the end result. You mentioned Stabnow and Devin West battling. And then we also saw a glimpse of Dennis Moore going after Sean Breitzman. Breitzman came out of turn 4. Dennis Moore didn't. Wow. Kendrick got into it.
It's caution number 7?
7. Yeah, 7.
7.
Are you going to pit now, Terry, if you didn't pit the last go around?
No.
Don't pit now. Stay where you're at. Hey, we'll pause for 10 seconds for network identification. This is iRacing on CRN, the Northwest Truck Series Playoffs.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Under 40 laps to go. Terry Radford, Wesley Outland, Charles Wooten on production. Welcome to round number 3 of the playoffs. Around the 12 for the Northwest Truck Series presented by CLICKIT RV. The world's oldest racetrack, and I say the word old in a very respectful term, Terry Radford, the legendary Milwaukee Mile at the Milwaukee State Fair, West Allis, Wisconsin, where we're at. And this race had its share of a decent green flag run, but now it seems like it's green caution. Who wants it at the end more? We got to find out.
I honestly said it earlier. I think with the 5 of Devin West sitting second, short run speed has been his strong suit. I think if he gets a chance to get door to door here and he can actually hold it, he has a good opportunity.
Understanding that Toby Ritter's got a black flag. And, well, Devin West got around Jeff Stabnow to get that second spot. We'll get ready for a restart here whenever we come back. I think one to go this time by at the line.
What did Toby get a black flag for?
Toby got a black flag. That's all I know. They're saying Toby Ritter's got a black flag. By the way, John Ottenbacher got the free pass. He's back on the lead lap.
So,
what's up?
Toby got a black flag. We don't know what for. Does that mean that we're going to look at the caution that came out for the 89? Like post-race?
Well, I'll
jot that down in my notes.
Charles, before we go to restart, can you give us any update on what the black flag for Toby Ritter's is for? Was it a pit road penalty?
I don't think Toby came down pit lane that time, did he?
I'm not sure.
No, I was on that 106.
I wonder if he got penalized for an end-of-line penalty on the restart, maybe. I wonder if that might be what it is. All right, here we go. Ready for a green flag. 35 laps to go here at Milwaukee Mile. By the way, sim time, 2 hours and 20 minutes. They still have over an hour left to run this race. Hopefully, Terry, you'll be in bed by then.
I hope so. And actually, Russ in the chat makes a good point. It could have been unsafe pit entry.
Yes.
For when he did spin, that could have then triggered the black flag. You cannot untrigger that flag at the moment it is unveiled to you at that moment. You cannot override an iRacing black flag. And I get why they didn't do it, but an end of the longest line is not too big of a punishment there. For him, he still has a great opportunity to come up there and make some noises. He has to do a drive-through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Go ahead.
Well, maybe it was because he went down pit lane early, and oh no, caution is probably going to come out again.
Frank Harris crashing, spinning to the inside pit wall. Caution out. Oh, man. Oh, man. Frank Harris, Terry, we were talking about what a good job Frank Harris has been doing in weeks of late, and he'll spin in turn 4.
Yeah, he was having a good run. I mean, he just giving it all he had there. Just stepped it out just a little bit. And Frank is Frank's one of them. He's one of the good ones. I like Frank a lot. I enjoy seeing him in open sessions as well. He brings me joy when I see his name pop up there.
Oh. Just after 1 o'clock, Terry Radford working overtime.
We're 4 minutes into my bedtime, by the way. Just throw that out there to everybody. 30 laps.
Stabnow's pitting. Look at this, Terry. What's Stabnow see differently than the other guys? Why is he pitting?
That maybe we're gonna get to the end and he'll be on the freshest tires.
4 tires, fuel. Frank Harris is in. Big Oregon
I don't
Ducks
think Frank
fan,
Harris has used it.
Obviously, Terry, Oregon took it to Colorado State the other day, didn't they? Colorado? Wow.
Ooh, did they?
Boy.
Did they ever?
You know what, though? But Deion Sanders was like, we were expecting a butt kicking from Oregon. We really were. Like, I acknowledge his tenacity of honesty.
Yeah. You know what hurt me more than anything?
Tennessee losing?
Yes. So Tennessee lost to Florida. And then I had to sit on the eNASCAR College iRacing series.
Yeah.
And take an absolute beating on that broadcast. Because I was hoping that when Tennessee lost, Wake Forest was losing to Old Dominion. I was hoping that Old Dominion would have beat Wake Forest, so then James Pike couldn't have argued with me and make subtle jokes at me. But then Wake Forest comes back, beats Old Dominion, and then I took a lot of Gator references, and it was a bad time.
We got some football references by Charles Wooten. Charles, what you got as we go down to the stretch with 30 to go?
Yes. So I just want to point this out. Anybody out there that's a Cowboys fan, I'm sorry. Get a life. But say this. Deion Sanders, what can I say?
The Cardinals played a great game.
The true Cowboys fashion. They start out strong, and then they just fall flat on their face. That's all.
Yeah.
What's your
Sounds
point
like
about
Dak
Deion
Prescott.
Sanders? He got hurt.
Dak's not hurt.
What to go at the line? Dak Prescott's not hurt?
No.
Oh. I
He's
thought
just
he did.
a bum.
Wow. All right, here we go. We'll settle in for a restart. Thanks, everybody, joining us. The playoffs, penultimate race of the regular season, final race of the round of 12. Next week at Homestead. And then 12 will become 8. Who will be the Elite 8? Ready for a restart. Lap 147 of 175. And yes, there is overtime if need be. 3 attempts. Look at Kevin Smith. Great jump on the restart. Boy, he passed everybody in the Geico restart zone cleanly there, Terry. He pulls away from the West family and Brightsman and Tedrick. Lowther, by the way, Terry. Remember Dan Lowther? Crashed into the pit barrel. Look at him in the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, good comeback, and he had a strong truck before he got loose off the exit of turn 4. Still has an opportunity here to work his way up into this position. I mean, he's sitting 7th currently. He had the outside lane rolling for a moment. You see Ryan Bloom right there. He'll make a little contact with B.J. Tedrick, and not too long ago, Tedrick was having a bit of an issue as well, and he's worked his way back up into the top 5. So it's not over yet. It's Devin West just took the lead from Kevin Smith.
Yep. All this action going on everywhere. Charles now back to the front as Devin West gets around Kevin Smith, but oh no! Kevin Smith, left rear. West goes around out of 2. Caution out. Wow. I want to say this is yellow flag number 10. And left rear, Smith in the West. Oh my goodness, Terry. I guess we're both speechless, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't even know how to sum that one up.
Wow, wow, wow. Yellow flag out. You see the replay thanks to Charles in the truck. And, well, we're closing in on obviously 20 laps to go, Terry. All bets are off. And You made the comment that everything ended at the end of stage 1 anyway. At the end of the first or second caution of the race is what I meant to say. We're not stage racing. My apologies. And Sean Breitzman is on pit road. Might be pulling a Jeff Stabnow move. Maybe they realize they need new tires.
Yeah, I think once we got the second caution flag out of the way, it was patience went far out the window. I mean, we should have about 20 laps to go when we take the green flag, and so you can't be too patient here. And I mean, look at the stories in the top 5. Kevin Smith, dominant. Short run speed, not really there. Devin West getting around him. That was the driver. If somebody was going to get around him and make the move and make him earn it harder, it was going to be the 5. Look at Dan West Jr., the 55, sitting second. Had some issues, rallied back up 12 positions. Ryan Bloom, tried a strategy, sits third. BJ Tedrick, great drive through this field. Had some issues very early on in this race, sitting fourth. And Dan Lowther, 3 of your top 5, 4 of your top 5, all was involved in something and has figured it out to make a comeback and sit here. 2 of them gaining 12 positions, the other 2 just getting back to where they started in 3rd and 5th. Going to be an interesting 20 laps, and my overtime is now 11 minutes. We'll give it the overtime counter.
I think they're torturing you from exiting early last Monday night, which by the way you couldn't help. It wasn't your fault. I will say that much. It wasn't your fault. You couldn't help it.
Yeah, I was mid-sentence.
You're not to blame.
I was legit mid-sentence, and it all left.
Well,
I didn't have the fancy setup on my phone. The fancy setup I had in the Buc-ee's parking lot with you.
You download that in a heartbeat, right? Well, not when you got internet. Never mind.
No cell service.
That's right.
I sent the message in the group chat and everything left me.
Yeah. He's referring to after we were at the NASCAR Cup Series Goodyear 400 at Darlington. We then had to call the race because one of our former colleagues was running late. And Terry's in one car in the parking lot, eating beaver nuggets, brisket sandwiches. So am I in the other car. And we're calling the race on the Sunday night. We're back underway here. I think it was a World of Thunder Truck Series, if I remember correctly. We're back to green.
It was.
20 laps to go next time around. And go ahead, Terry. Oh,
look at Lowther right there. Yeah, look at Lowther. He moved up one, and he moved up the racetrack just a little bit, made just a tad bit of contact. BJ Tedrick got around him. You talk about patience level leaving. They ain't patient no more.
20 to go, finally, at the Milwaukee Mile.
It took us a while to get there.
And it looked like it was going to be a solid green flag race until just green caution, and we're not done yet. In the back, they're getting antsy there, Terry, going to 3. Everyone else is single file. Ooh.
Yeah, you got to make positions up early on in this one. And you see Stabnow there in 7th. Oh, almost.
Dennis Moore.
Who was that? Dennis Moore almost lost it right in front. That gives a free spot to the 24. Currently sitting 6th. Everybody's starting to get a little bit more happy on the throttle off the exit of the corners. And you're going to get that with under 20 laps to go, especially on a late race restart. Every position matters. And if you're Kevin Smith, that position mattered a lot. And he got it, and now it's a tune of a second.
I'm watching this storm brewing behind the leaders in the top 5, if you will, or even the top 8. And that's that gaggle of trucks right there coming off of that second turn, led by Brightsman, Devin West, Tyler Kim, John Onenbacher, Brett Johnson, all in that mix. Still they hold it together. Ryan Bloom, he's in second, and he's watching the boss man, Kevin Smith, slide away from the pack into turn number 1. Wow, he's gone.
Gone in the blink of an eye. He is pulled away, and it sets up between Dan West Jr., Ryan Bloom, and BJ Tedrick. And don't forget Dan still sitting in there as well. If those drivers start to get racy up in front, he has an opportunity to slide his way in here. Stabno on fresher tires. Don't know if necessarily the speed. We'll see it when he crosses the start-finish line here. It was a 29.894 for the race leader. Jeff turned a 30.066. That was the second fastest time on the racetrack. Sorry, make that third fastest lap time, because Sean Brightsman crossed the line at a 29.877. That was the fastest lap that time by, but Brightsman is going to come up a few dollars short. He's not gonna have the time to drive all the way through this field with 15 laps to go to catch the 00.
15 to go, as Terry mentioned. And back out in front, Kevin Smith, Ryan Bloom. Look at this now in the back. This is Tyler Kim and Brett Johnson. Tyler Kim, Terry, on the restart was 8th. He has fell all the way back to 13th. Talk about slip sliding away.
Yeah, and this is a good little fight right here between Kim, and that's Brett Johnson for the 12th place position. Not a bad run here. If you're Tyler Kim, you're up 5 positions. Not too shabby. Looking for 6 if he could just get inside that top 12. Has not necessarily found the speed in that 38, but I don't think tonight's a measuring stick for 2 people. Tonight's a measuring stick for the 00 and the 25 of what next week will look like, in my opinion. I think that's the measuring stick that you go off of, because those 2 have been 1-2. Other than the 5 of Devin West, it's been the Bloom and Smith show.
In the quote of the NWO, Kevin Nash and the legendary past Scott Hall, the measuring stick just changed a bit. You're looking at it. In words of Terry
That's
Radford,
right.
Kevin Smith, and Ryan Bloom.
This is where the big boys
1
play.
and 2. That's right. Where the big boys play. If you want to make it into the round of 8, you've got to step up now, and you got to step up your gang. And let me say this as well, as we're in the run of 12 in the playoffs. You've got to be flawless every race, Terry. When you get to the playoffs, as we're approaching 10 to go, you've got to be on your A game. Bottom line, you cannot make any mistakes. And if there are any mistakes that you make, hopefully they're minimal to slim to none. That's the difference between a competitor and a champion.
Well, and I mean, if we stick with the wrestling metaphors that I hope the 90s wrestling fans enjoy. I mean, that's truly the bottom line, because Wesley Outland said so. What separates everything, and I said it earlier to quote the great nature boy Ric Flair, to be the man, you got to beat the man. To be the man this season, it's going through Kevin Smith. And I'll argue that till I'm blue in the face. Last season, we were talking Tyler King. Like, that's who the measuring stick was. That's who, if anybody came into the series and said, who do I have to beat in this race? Tyler King was the one. Was he the best on the short run? Nope. Was he the best on the long run? Nope. He was a good overall driver. He had the raw speed, he had the raw talent, but he didn't have one foot in front of the other. He was consistently walking at his own pace. It was, I will not beat you by 10 seconds. I might not even beat you on a short run, but I promise you I can beat you in every asset of the race. I can be the fastest on the pit stop. I can be the fastest in a single lap. If I have to give it my all for something, I'll give it to you. And that's what it takes to win the championship. That's what it takes to be the champion. I'm looking at lap times right now, and even to the very last lap, Kevin Smith is still out here turning 30.2 flats. That time was a 30.396. He's second fastest on the racetrack at the moment, but he is consistently the fastest, and he's not letting Ryan Bloom even remotely close that time in on him. And if he does, he extends it the next lap or the next corner. He's paying attention on every asset of this racetrack. Here we come. We're going to be 5 laps to go. When they come across the line this time by, Kevin Smith still gets it done. Ryan Bloom running second. Yeah, Dan West Jr. currently sitting third. BJ Tidrick, Jeff Stabnow just made the pass on Dennis Moore for that top 5 spot. See if Kevin Smith can wrap this out. It's a 1.3 second lead back to the number 25. Four to go. You take a look at the fight between Dennis Moore and Sean Brightsman. It's for the 6th place position. We've got Devin West back there, who was leading the race, got spun late. Let's see, 3 to go this time by. Kevin Smith's led the most laps. Certainly did the best this afternoon, and for Ryan Bloom, starting to close that time in just a little bit. He was a tick faster, about 0.2 faster that last time by. It's just a little too late. 2 laps to go, 1.2 seconds separates Kevin Smith and Ryan Bloom for who's going to win here at Milwaukee. We take a look right here through turns 3 and 4. White flags in the air. 1 lap to go for the Northwest Truck Series presented by CLICKIT RV. For Kevin Smith in that Chevrolet has done a masterful job, and he'll see the back straightaway for the final time. Ryan Bloom in tow, but still a large gap between them. And here he comes through turns 3 and 4. Give the win to the CLICKIT RV Chevrolet. The 00 Kevin Smith will win at the Milwaukee Mile. Ryan Bloom will come across the line in P2. Dan West Jr. up 11 spots will finish 3rd. BJ Tidrick plus 12, and Jeff Stabnow rallied late to drive through the field to come home with a 5th place finish. We'll have all 3 of your podium finishers and the post-race show right after this commercial break.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
At CLICKIT RV, we know there's a lot of heritage and history at this location. RV sales and service has been part of this community for decades. We knew there was an incredible opportunity here, but to see where we've come in just a year is incredible. None of it would be possible without the patronage and support from this community. So whether it be a more convenient and accessible service drive, a fully stocked parts department, or this amazing sales facility, what drives this team daily is making sure our customers leave here with the best possible experience.
Time. It slips through our fingers like sand, flowing endlessly, yet holding immeasurable power within its grasp. Tick by tick, it shapes our lives, marking the moments that define us. For 10 long years, the Lone Star 600 has carved a path of endurance through time, a race unlike any other, where the boundaries of human and machine are pushed to their limits. Over 180 cars, their engines roaring in unison as drivers push the limits of their cars and themselves. For 300 laps each night, they dance with danger, locked in a race against time itself. The Lone Star 600 is a testament to human resilience. It's not just a race, it's a test of wills, a fight against the unforgiving clock. Join us as we celebrate a decade of unparalleled speed and unyielding determination. The 10th annual Lone Star 600, a race that defies time and etches itself into racing history.
Some of these guys, I've been racing with them a long time, and they are good. They are real good. Winning a race like this is a big deal.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
At CLICKIT RV, we know there's a lot of heritage and history at this location. RV sales and service has been part of this community for decades. We knew there was an incredible opportunity here, but to see where we've come in just a year is incredible. None of it would be possible without the patronage and support from this community. So whether it be a more convenient and accessible service drive, a fully stocked parts department, or this amazing sales facility, what drives this team daily is making sure our customers leave here with the best possible experience.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, it's me, not the other two. Wesley lost internet, and Terry Radford is gone for the rest of the night. He has gone to bed, but we're going to start with third place. I haven't got to interview a driver in, well, forever, basically. So we're going to wing this the best we can. Dan West Jr., you bring third place home here for the LSRTV team, obviously, but first and foremost, congrats on third place. Do you think you had anything for the other two in front of you?
Not at all. I feel like they were in a class of their own. Kevin was definitely the truck to beat tonight, and he showed it all night.
Well, definitely showing it, but a little up and down for everyone. We had a nice long green flag run and then a lot of cautions coming into a short track like this of only a mile long. What was the mindset coming into it? Were you expecting a lot of cautions throughout the race? Were you expecting green? Did you plan for a mix of them? What was that mindset?
Honestly, with the truck count that we had, I kind of felt like, in being a bigger track, that we would be pretty much green all night long. So it was kind of playing into that. I would say, 2/3 of the race, and then it just fell apart.
Yeah, it's pretty much sum it up. We get about 2/3 of the way. Somebody dropped the hammer, and it just laid on the caution. But either way, you came out with a third place finish here tonight, and we don't want to keep y'all here too long. And I am rusty as all get out, so we don't want anyone to have to suffer through this. So we know you got some sponsors on the hood and side panels. Who would they be?
Fair enough, Charles. Appreciate it, buddy. I'd like to thank Effective Web Solutions, LSRTV, CRN Sports, CLICKIT RV. Appreciate everything they do for us, and congratulations, guys. Hell of a job, Kevin.
All right, again, congrats on third place, and bringing us to Ryan Bloom. Ryan, you're chasing your teammate here at the end. Same question. Did you have anything for him? Maybe if you'd had that one more caution, maybe some fresher tires. What do you think you needed to do to run down that 0-0?
I don't think I had anything. Kevin was just, he earned that one for sure. He was definitely the truck to beat tonight. And, maybe a longer run, I might have been able to run him down, but he deserved that one all the way. And I was happy to see him get that win. Definitely did a great job tonight. We had another fast set, and I'm happy to help kind of hold off Dan there at the end to do my part and helping him trying to get a win. But I really don't think he needed much help. He was fast, so congrats to Dan coming in third. He's always tough, so it's a lot of fun racing him. And overall, just a great night.
Oh, that leads me to, of course, the next question. You kind of alluded to it a little bit. Is obviously your teammates there at Win Racing and doing a lot of winning for that matter, but did you come into the night with the exact same setup, or did you each run kind of what felt best to you here, and maybe that he's just had that little bit extra?
That's a good question. I think we might have had a little bit different setups, just small differences, just to kind of suit our driving styles. You'd have to ask Kevin if he changed anything, but I have a little different driving style than him, and like to have a little more rear spring in my setups, and so I can get the car to turn a little bit on throttle a little bit more. But overall though, I mean, our sets are really, really good. So I can't say enough about the work we put in our team and Win Racing and the work we do.
We know one of your sponsors. It's kind of a given, but we'll let you take the rest of them as well as that given one is.
Yeah, no, I just want to thank CLICKIT RV for sure, sponsoring our team and the series. Great having them on board. It's been a lot of benefits to having them on board this year, and good to see our boy Kevin get the win there, representing CLICKIT RV for sure. So LSRTV, great job tonight, guys. I heard there was some issues, but overall, I need you guys get that fixed and do a great job. And just Jeff and Sean for and all the admins for putting on the series. And another shout out to my team, Win Racing. Another great setup, and hopefully we should be able to get all this into the next round.
Well, definitely always a good job to get a win and get your whole team in, and we'll be looking at the points later on and get those to the fans for next Monday night's race. Congrats on second place. And Kevin, when he came in the team speak, he was saying, I can't hear y'all. It's probably because he was so far ahead of everyone. But Kevin, you come out with the win here tonight, and pretty much in dominating fashion. You had a really good run, and they talked about it earlier. You had the short run a little bit, you had the long run, you kind of had a just overall good setup. So just talk about how well was that truck handling tonight. And he may still not be hearing us. He may be so far ahead we haven't caught up with him yet. But Kevin Smith, you got a copy.
Can you guys hear me?
All right, we got you now.
So I think, sorry about that. I think, it's hard to figure out, the race there. We got into a green flag run. It's always a balance, especially with me, on how hard I run at the beginning of a run and having something there at the end. So that was, that was a little bit of a challenge later in that race. It's just kind of figuring out what tone that race was going to take. And then, we went like 25, 30 laps on that run. And do you take tires? And, how's this thing going to end up? And, our team kind of scattered strategies. So we kind of had, strategies all over the map, maybe to have people in place kind of all over that run. But, it was just a really good truck. It did what I wanted it to do. It rolled the center really well. I had that deal with Devin that I feel horrible about. I mean, we got to kind of the same real estate. He kind of took a high arc in 1 and 2, and I kind of got my nose shoved in there, and he kind of drove down the track, and I was kind of sitting there a little bit. So I never want to see it go like that. But I'm racing for a win, and I'm going to try to get it in there if I can. And but no, just like everybody's saying, it's just it was a lot of fun tonight. Just kind of just thought I might get hung out on strategy there at the very end.
Well, and we look back at the beginning of your season, and I don't want to say you had a dismal season because of driving. You were doing good, but are you glad to have that rough patch out of the season when it was more computer issues, internet issues, people playing Fortnite and stuff? Are you glad to get that out of the way early, and have a solid run here going to the playoffs?
Well, apparently I still got some of that going on because getting this mic to work and TeamSpeak was a challenge. But yeah, I mean, getting that stuff behind me, got a new computer and put some of those problems I had behind me, and just kind of getting into a rhythm here at the end of the season. My team, Dennis and Brian and Toby, we just put so much time into working these sets and putting the best product out on the racetrack, and just super proud of the job they're doing. And LSRTV and that team, they've stepped up big time. I mean, it's Devin got around me there, and I made a mistake off the corner there and let him get position, and they're right there. I mean, you can't let up, you can't take a week off. You have to put in the time because these guys are pros. I mean, Dan and Devin and Jeff, Sean, these guys have been doing this a while in this series, and they're so talented. So we just work hard. I mean, that's at the end of the day, we work hard and put in the time and try to put the best thing out there every week.
You definitely have been doing a good job at it, and kind of the same thing. We know you have one sponsor on that car, but you got some others. So who are the sponsors that make all this happen for you?
Yeah, I just really want to thank CLICKIT RV. Just such a good organization to be a part of. Just super proud to have them be a part of this series and have them be a part of this race team. If anybody, I say it often, but if anybody's in the market for parts or service or sales for an RV, we can certainly help you. And I want to thank LSRTV. I want to thank you guys for putting on just such a amazing broadcast. I love going back and watching these. It's so much fun, creative and state of the art. They just really represent this series in such a great way. I want to thank the series, the admin, Sean and Jeff, for such a good place to have a great hobby and to go out here and race with these guys, and really my competitors. So respectful tonight, and just so they make you bring your best every week, and it's such a challenge. So anyways, just proud to be a part of this series.
Well, there you have it from your top three. Obviously, Kevin Smith the win, Ryan Bloom second, and Dan West Jr. Coming in third. I'm going to make it short and sweet. I'm not used to being on the mic anymore. I'm behind the scenes kind of guy. So we're going to wrap this one up. Call it quits. We'll talk to you next Monday. We'll give you all the points and all that, how they reside here in the playoffs. And then, of course, we'll see you Wednesday for the Xfinity Series. On behalf of myself, Charles Wooten, Wesley Outlet,